Hey everybody, welcome to the very first video on this channel where I'm doing a vinyl haul. I'll be doing more of these, of course, as I get more vinyl. Now, the story with me and vinyl is I used to collect vinyl as a child. My family had vinyl. That was normal. But in the late 80s and early 90s, the CDs were taking over. The record stores were being just totally replaced. Vinyl was becoming smaller and in the back, and it was all CDs. And anyways, I ended up selling all my collection probably in the early 90s. I had lots of progressive albums. About a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months, I just spontaneously thought, hey, I should get a record player. So I did, and I went to a used record store and I started getting vinyl. Started ordering. I discovered Discogs.com. I'm sure you all know that one. And the rabbit hole is now occupied. I'm in the rabbit hole. So without further ado, let's just jump in. Focus. Now, Focus is a band that I did not know much about, except for that one song. They have the yodel kind of singing. I'm not going to try it. Mike Oldfield, I mentioned I had Tubular Bells from when I was 8 years old, I believe, and never really heard much of his other stuff. You remember in those days you couldn't just turn on YouTube and check out and sample it. You basically had to go buy it, or if you knew someone who had it, listen to their album. I've gotten Amadon. I didn't want to listen to it until I reacted to it, so a few weeks ago I reacted to it, so now I can freely unleash it. And I've been listening. I was listening to it last night, actually. Listened to the whole album with one of my sons here. Vangelis, or Vangelis, Heaven and Hell. I just love Vangelis. So one of the reasons why I wanted to get this, because I knew that the music to Cosmos, the original Cosmos with Carl Sagan, billions and billions of stars and records, progressive rock taking over the universe, exploding with excitement. So anyways, I love Carl Sagan. He's one of my heroes. And I love Vangelis, and then Cosmos, the series, which is classic. This was a repurchase. Someone was selling a few Yes albums for a really good price, so I went and bought them. This came out in 1980. This is the album that I first discovered Yes. Even though I didn't buy this, I bought this last. But I heard the song Tempus Fugit on the radio, and it ends with yes, 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 and it was easy to remember. It's like, oh man, I gotta check out this band. But the first albums I ended up buying were the ones that were on sale, which were the Yes album, Close to the Edge, and Fragile, because those three albums were the discounting. Remember, I was a kid. I had to go and I had to pick peaches, and stuff like that, and do odd jobs to buy my albums. And then there's Yes Tormato, and I really was surprised how much I felt at home listening to this on my LP player again. Close to the Edge. What else can you say? A masterpiece. This is pretty unanimous that it's a prog masterpiece. Steve Hackett, another progressive rock stuff that I really love. I discovered Genesis first, and then I heard that he had solo stuff, and I really liked Steve Hackett, and I gotta get some of his. So this one's a new one. I haven't had this before. October. So this is a Quebec band, and there are some great progressive rock Quebec bands from the 70s. And other eras as well. But this was amazing. This is so good. If you haven't heard of it, you haven't tried it. Yes, 90125. This was sort of, when it came out, I bought it the first day it was released. And it just blew my mind that suddenly, instead of being the outcast in school, all my friends didn't really like progressive rock. I was kind of a loner. Suddenly, Yes was like #1. I'm like, yeah, guys, check it out. Yes, man. Yeah, I was into Yes way before you even heard of them. So, I still think this is a really good, solid album. I like it a lot. Carmen, Fandangos in Space. This was a gift from one of my viewers, and it's an original pressing for sure. By the way, I'm listed at Discogs. I guess I'll try to put a link down below if I can, if you wanted to check out all my albums, even down to the very printing and country of issue. So I really like this. Carmen. Never heard of them before recently. So here's another one. Mike Oldfield. I always thought it was Highest Ridge. It's actually Hergest Ridge. And I haven't heard this one yet. I haven't put it on my player because I want to react to it first. So I will be reacting to it first on the channel. Cano. Here's another Quebec progressive band, Cano. It's got a female singer and a male singer. I kind of called it sort of a Supertramp, sort of a French progressive, a little more progressive Supertramp. John Anderson, one of my faves. I love John Anderson. Animation, I think it's one of his better, probably one of his best solo albums. The other one is Elias of Sunhillow. I don't have that. I'm going to pick that up at some point. Gentle Giant, I haven't even listened to this. Apparently this is a Canadian pressing because of the artwork. It doesn't have the Roger Dean artwork. It's a little bit different. But like I say, I have not even listened to this yet. I'm going to do a react to 2 or 3 songs on this. And then I can go ahead and crack it open and listen to it. Genesis, Spot the Pigeon, which was sort of outtakes from... okay, the brain just is not clicking here, but it's an outtakes from a certain album, which I'll post below. It happens to be on blue vinyl, too. And it's actually a 45. So you put it on 45 RPMs instead of 33.5. And it's really cool. It's got one kind of poppy song on it. And one of the tracks, the track called Inside and Out, it's really good. I mean, Hackett's on this album, right? He's still playing with them. This is the last album he's on. This song, Inside and Out, he thought it should have been on the album. And I actually agree. It's a strong song. And I'm so excited to hear it. Here's Peter Gabriel. Of course, I love Shock the Monkey. Almost said Spank the Monkey there. Spooky cover. My wife thinks it's spooky whenever she sees it, but she knows Peter Gabriel. She even saw him. She saw him on tour with one of her old boyfriends. Now, if you've never heard of FM, Black Noise, this is a classic progressive rock album, Canadian treasure. By the way, the violinist / mandolinist, there's no guitarists in the band. All the guitar you hear is a mandolin with electric distortion. That's Nash the Slash. We'll get to one of his albums too. I'm a big fan of his. So FM Black Noise, excellent album. I highly recommend it. A little bit of jazz flavor here and there as well. Here's Fragile. Like I say, I just thought, well, I might as well pick it up. But the exciting thing about this one, didn't come with the package. Like a lot of the originals had like a booklet with Steve Howe standing in the middle of all this. But look at this. It opens and it comes out from the middle. Now, even the one I used to have back from the 80s, it didn't do that. Here's another band. I always wanted to get this album. I remember just looking at it and salivating because I'd heard of Alan Holdsworth and I heard his guitar playing. I thought, oh, I gotta get this guy's album. And Greg Legg was singing it. No, John Wetton, pardon me. John Wetton. And so I never got it. You know, I couldn't scrape up the money, and it wasn't a high enough priority, I guess. And I'm going to react to a couple tracks off of this before I crack it on my and play it on my LP player. Now, like I mentioned, another Canadian icon, Nash the Slash. He is sort of Gary Newman took him under his wing when he was doing a tour. He found Nash the Slash in a bar, and he decided to fire the band that they were going to have open for them on a tour. And then he said, Nash the Slash, he's perfect. He is perfect for this tour. So Nash the Slash sort of got pulled and yanked out of a bar, and he was suddenly playing in front of huge audiences. Here's Talk Talk. This is a gift from a friend in Seattle who watches the channel. And this is an album, The Color of Spring. So now we have to move up to the wall here because I've got stuff on the wall. This was a gift as well from my friend in Seattle who watches the channel. It's a beautiful gatefold and had a booklet in it. Yeah, there's the booklet. Beautiful booklet. And actually the LPs have artwork and stuff on them, and they're actually over there right now. And of course I reacted to the whole album, so I've been playing it on my record player. This is The Ancients. I remember hearing about this band from someone I work with. It turns out her husband is married to a woman whose brother lives in Vancouver, and he's the drummer in this band, Ancients. So what do you know? So that makes it all the more exciting. I've been listening to it. I'm going to react to their first album. It didn't occur to me to react to this one because it didn't seem to be much noise from anyone to listen or react to ancients. I don't know why. They're great. So I've got Genesis here. Seconds Out. This is a UK printing. It's like, it feels like it's 200 gram. And then there's Genesis Live. This one I haven't even listened to yet because I want to react to Genesis's first 3 albums. I don't know them hardly at all, except for an acoustic guitar solo, which somebody wanted me to teach on my channel, and I did, from the Foxtrot album. And so I don't know the old stuff, so I want to react to it before I dive in and listen to this. So this is called Star Castle. They are a really cool American band. They're kind of like an American Yes band. And when you first hear them, you're going to think, oh my gosh, they're just totally imitating Yes. But you get quickly past that, and I find that I just hear them for themselves now. I know they're obviously inspired by Yes, but they're their own songwriters. They're their own thing, so I like it. It's kind of like Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young joined Yes. Here we got, this is obviously Lateralus, and I decided, since I got this from Jen, kind of a Christmas gift, it's really nice, sweet to do that. And since I react to Lateralus almost a year ago, I'm going to actually do a react a year later. Because, again, I've listened to some Tool over the last year, but I haven't listened to Lateralus again because I bawled my eyes out at the end of it. And I'm actually literally kind of afraid to listen to it. So I thought, well, what the heck? I'll get the camera set up, I'll listen to Lateralus 1 year later and do a video of that. And see how it affects me if it does so strongly again. 5 Miles Out, Mike Oldfield. Haven't listened to it yet. Again, I bought this. I'm planning to react to it. And after I react to it, I can finally just play it on my record player. This is an old pressing of Topographic Oceans. Obviously not Steven Wilson mastered or anything like that. The ink is kind of rubbing off on some of these. It's hard to read some of the lyrics. I love this album. I have no issue with this album. I think it's great. I think it's part of the Yes canon. One of the great albums. I recently reacted to this entire album, song by song on the channel. And I loved it so much, I just thought, oh yeah, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to buy this one. So I've listened to it a couple times since I bought it. And here's another Talk one. This is the one, actually, I was going to react to the whole album. Okay, and Relayer. And Relayer is a beautiful album. And one of the things I love about this album is Patrick Moraz and the sort of jazzy influence he brought to the band. And I just think it was good for the band to have a different keyboardist, because I think Rick Wakeman was just not, his heart wasn't in it anymore. So they got someone who was fresh and ambitious, and it just sort of helped to get the band turned up the stove and got the pan frying again, and they were really frying in this album. I think Gates of Delirium is an absolute masterpiece. Absolute masterpiece. Ooh, it's getting to be a long video, but we're almost done. I wanted to show you the picture discs. And look at that. This is the Lateralus disc, picture disc. And yes, very nice. I just wanted to show the little centers to the Hand Cannot Erase by Steven Wilson. They have really cool little pictures in the middle. So I wanted to show you quickly the Ancients album, which is colored. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful. I guess you could call it lime green. Apparently they are working on a new album. They may actually have already finished it, maybe just in the mixing phases, or they're just near finished. Yeah, more of the Steven Wilson centers. And here's his child's drawing, saying, "This is my dad." Isn't that cute? So that is my collection. That's my first haul. Thanks for watching. Make sure you leave a thumbs up and spiraling out.